By the time you reach 50, your body has already stolen nearly half of the testosterone you once had at 25. That is why your mornings feel softer, your muscles weaker, and your erections less reliable. Here is the shocking truth. This drop is not just about aging, it is about neglect. If you stop moving the right way, your body stops producing the very hormones that make you a man. But imagine this. 6 simple exercises, each taking only a few minutes, have been quietly recommended by top urologists because they do what pills never can. They reawaken blood flow, strengthen the pelvic floor, and signal your body to release testosterone naturally. These are not gym fads, and they are not complicated. They are movements you can do at home, no equipment needed, yet the results can feel like turning the clock back 20 years. My name is Dr. Helen Carter. I am a men's health and performance coach, and I have spent the last 15 years helping men over 50 reclaim their vitality, confidence, and strength. Today, I am going to guide you through these 6 powerful exercises step by step, and I promise, if you stay with me until the end, you will discover not only how to perform them correctly, but also the hidden reason why they work so fast. Before we dive in, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and comment below with your age and where you are watching from. Your story might inspire another man to take the first step. Here is what most men do not realize. Testosterone is not just about sex drive. It is the hormone that fuels your muscles, your bones, your brain, even your mood. After 50, natural production can fall by 1 to 2% every single year. Over a decade, that becomes a silent collapse, and the effects show up everywhere. You feel it when your belly grows, even though your diet has not changed. You feel it when climbing stairs leaves you winded faster than before. You feel it when intimacy becomes less predictable, leaving you frustrated and your partner concerned. The medical system often treats these symptoms separately. One pill for cholesterol, another for blood pressure, another for erectile dysfunction. But what no one tells you is this. The true root problem is often poor circulation and weak pelvic muscles, combined with a steady decline in hormone balance. Pills can mask symptoms for a night, but they cannot rebuild your body. The only proven way to restore circulation, strengthen the muscles that control erections, and signal your body to release testosterone again, is movement. Not just any movement, but targeted exercises designed for the male body over 50. And this is exactly why urologists quietly recommend them. Because when you restore blood flow and muscle activation in the pelvic region, erections become stronger, energy rises, and confidence returns. So the real question is, what are these 6 powerful exercises, and how can you start today? The first movement is ancient, simple, yet unbelievably powerful. It is called the horse stance. For centuries, martial artists used it to build explosive strength, balance, and endurance. But what urologists have discovered is that this same stance has a direct impact on male vitality because it strengthens the very foundation of circulation and hormone activation. Here is how it works. When you drop into the horse stance, your thighs and hips are forced to engage fully. These are among the largest muscles in your body, and when large muscle groups are activated, your body releases more testosterone naturally. At the same time, holding this position demands stability from your pelvic floor, the set of muscles that control erections, bladder function, and even orgasm. Think of it as flipping the main power switch to your masculinity. To perform it, stand with your feet wider than shoulder width apart. Slowly bend your knees until your thighs are parallel to the ground, as if you were sitting on an invisible chair. Keep your chest upright, back straight, and core engaged. Hold this stance, breathing deeply, for 20 to 30 seconds at first. As you progress, aim for 1 to 2 minutes. Rest, then repeat 3 to 5 times. The key is consistency. A few minutes daily will transform the way your body feels and performs. You might notice a warm, almost pulsing sensation in your thighs and pelvis. That is circulation reawakening. It is not just a workout for your legs. It is a direct signal to your body to rebuild strength and restore virility. But standing still is only the beginning. If you truly want to unlock pelvic power and boost erection quality further, the next movement adds a dynamic pulse that intensifies everything you just activated. If the horse stance is about holding power, the deep squat with pelvic pulse is about unlocking movement in the very muscles that control your erections. This is where strength meets rhythm. Urologists often recommend it because it trains the pelvic floor dynamically, not just statically, which is crucial for real performance in the bedroom. Here is what makes it different. A deep squat on its own builds strong legs and hips. But when you add a subtle pelvic pulse, small, controlled forward thrusts at the bottom of the squat, you directly stimulate the pelvic floor, perineum, and the nerves that regulate arousal. It is almost like teaching your body to send stronger blood flow signals on command. Here is how to perform it. Stand with your feet about shoulder width apart and slowly lower into a deep squat, keeping your heels planted firmly on the ground. Your thighs should drop below parallel if your flexibility allows. Once in position, tilt your pelvis forward gently, as if giving a small pulse, then release. Repeat this pulse 10 to 15 times before standing back up. Breathe steadily throughout. Start with 2 sets, and over time work up to 3 or 4. The first thing you will notice is heat and tension building deep in your pelvis. That is the blood rushing in, the same blood your body needs for stronger, longer-lasting erections. Over weeks, men report not only better firmness, but also improved control, because these muscles learn to contract and relax on demand. So far, you have reawakened circulation with the horse stance and added dynamic pelvic strength with the deep squat pulse. But to truly supercharge blood flow and nourish your prostate, you need a movement that opens the body and bridges the gap between strength and flexibility. That is why the third exercise may surprise you. It comes straight from yoga, yet it is one of the most effective for men over 50. The third movement is deceptively simple, yet it targets one of the most overlooked areas of male health, the lower back, hips, and prostate region. It is called the bridge pose. While it is often taught in yoga for flexibility, urologists recognize its power for men because it pumps fresh blood directly into the pelvic region and strengthens the muscles that keep erections firm. Here is how it works. When you lift your hips into a bridge, you create a reverse pressure system. Blood is drawn down toward the pelvis, nourishing the prostate and erectile tissue with oxygen-rich circulation. At the same time, your glutes, hamstrings, and core engage to stabilize the lift. These are powerful, hormone-sensitive muscles. By training them, you signal your body to keep producing testosterone naturally. To perform the bridge pose, lie flat on your back with your knees bent and feet placed hip-width apart on the ground. Place your arms by your sides for support. Press through your heels and slowly raise your hips toward the ceiling, creating a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Hold this position for 15 to 20 seconds, breathing deeply, then lower with control. Aim for 10 to 12 repetitions, completing 2 to 3 sets. As you gain strength, extend the hold up to 30 seconds. You will feel a deep stretch across your abdomen and hips, combined with an intense contraction in your glutes. That combination not only builds physical strength, it also reconditions the nerves that play a vital role in arousal and orgasm. Many men report that after just a few weeks, their morning erections return stronger and more consistent. But while the bridge pose restores blood flow and builds muscle, it is still missing one critical element: control. The next exercise is all about mastering the hidden set of muscles that determine how long you last and how powerful your erections really are. If circulation is the fuel for strong erections, then the pelvic floor is the control system. These are the sling-like muscles at the base of your pelvis that tighten during arousal and release during climax. The problem is, most men either ignore them completely or perform Kegels the wrong way, clenching too hard, too fast, and creating tension instead of control. Done correctly, pelvic floor contractions are one of the most powerful tools for lasting virility. Here's how it works. When you gently contract and release the pelvic floor, you build both strength and coordination. This allows you to trap blood inside the penis during erection and also control the timing of ejaculation. Urologists often prescribe this exact routine to men with erectile dysfunction or premature ejaculation because it retrains the body's natural reflexes. To practice, sit or lie down comfortably. Imagine you are trying to stop the flow of urine midstream. That is the pelvic floor muscle engaging. Hold this contraction lightly for 5 seconds, then release for 5 seconds. Breathe normally as you do this. Aim for 10 to 15 repetitions per set, completing 2 to 3 sets daily. As your control improves, extend the hold to 10 seconds. Consistency is key. Within weeks, most men notice firmer erections and a newfound ability to hold back when they want to. It is subtle, but life-changing, like discovering a hidden switch you never knew you had. You have now built circulation, strength, and control. But to keep your body youthful and testosterone levels primed, you must also challenge larger muscle groups that trigger hormone release. That is where the next movement, the reverse plank, becomes a game changer. Now that you have learned to control the pelvic floor, it is time to challenge the bigger muscle groups that drive hormone production. The reverse plank may look simple, but it is one of the most underrated full-body movements for men over 50. It combines strength, posture, and circulation in one powerful hold. Here is why it matters. When you press into the reverse plank, your shoulders, chest, core, glutes, and hamstrings all activate at once. These are large, testosterone-sensitive muscles. Working them together sends a strong anabolic signal to your body, essentially telling your brain, keep producing testosterone, this man is still in the game. At the same time, the extended position opens your chest and pelvis, freeing circulation to flow back into the reproductive organs. To perform it, sit on the floor with your legs extended straight in front of you and your hands placed on the ground just behind your hips, fingers pointing forward. Press through your palms and heels, lifting your hips toward the ceiling until your body forms a straight line from head to toe. Keep your chest lifted and squeeze your glutes tightly. Hold this position for 20 seconds at first, then lower down gently. Work up to 30 to 45 seconds over time, repeating 3 to 4 times. At first, you may feel tension in your shoulders and core, but with practice, you will notice a surge of heat spreading through your chest and pelvis. That is the blood rushing where it needs to be. The reverse plank does more than strengthen. It rewires your posture, restores your presence, and reignites the hormonal response that makes you feel alive. But there is still one final piece. Even with strength and control, tight hips can choke off blood flow and limit performance. To truly complete the system, you need a movement that releases those locked muscles and restores freedom. That is where the last exercise comes in, the lunge with hip opener. You now have strength, circulation, and control. But there is one silent enemy that robs men of performance after 50. Tight hips. Years of sitting at desks, driving, or simply not moving enough cause the hip flexors to shorten and compress the very blood vessels that need to stay open for a strong erection. That is why the lunge with hip opener is the final key in this system. It restores freedom where stiffness has taken hold. Here is why it matters. When the hip flexors remain tight, they pull the pelvis forward, strain the lower back, and pinch circulation to the groin. This does not just affect mobility. It literally reduces the blood flow required for firmness. By stretching and strengthening through the lunge with hip opener, You release that pressure, improve posture, and allow oxygen-rich blood to move freely into the pelvic region. To perform it, step your right foot forward into a deep lunge, keeping your left leg extended behind you with the knee resting lightly on the ground. Keep your chest tall and your hips square. From this position, gently press your hips forward until you feel a deep stretch along the front of your left hip. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds while breathing deeply. For the opener, rotate your torso slightly toward the front leg or place your hands on your knee and push gently outward. Switch sides and repeat. Perform 2 to 3 sets on each side. With practice, you will notice not just looser hips, but also smoother movement during intimacy, stronger pelvic circulation, and greater comfort in your lower back. This single stretch can feel like unlocking a chain that has been holding you down for years. And now you have the full system. 6 powerful exercises that rebuild testosterone, circulation, and control from the ground up. But before we wrap up, let me show you how combining them can transform your daily routine, and why consistency will bring results faster than you imagine. So there you have it. 6 powerful exercises every man over 50 should know. The horse stance to awaken circulation and hormones. The deep squat with pelvic pulse to strengthen your pelvic floor. The bridge pose to flood your prostate and pelvis with blood. The pelvic floor contraction to give you control. The reverse plank to challenge your largest muscle groups and keep testosterone flowing. And the lunge with hip opener to release tightness and restore freedom where you need it most. Together, they form a complete system, not a quick fix, not a pill, but a natural blueprint for rebuilding the strength, stamina, and confidence you thought age had taken away. And here is the truth. Your body is waiting for these signals. When you give it the right movements, it responds quickly, often within weeks. Firmer mornings, more energy, and the kind of presence that your partner will notice before you even say a word. Now it is your turn. Which of these 6 exercises will you start with tonight? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one, and your commitment might inspire another man to take the first step. Before you go, do me one favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with a friend who needs it. Because sometimes the right knowledge at the right time changes not just a day, but an entire future. And stay tuned, because in the next video, I am going to share a 60-second breathing hack that spikes testosterone instantly. You will not want to miss it.